I've heard that life is what you make it. I say make room to grow. I'm your host, LaWanda Dockery, and this is the Make Room to Grow podcast. It all started with a dream about growing food, and who would ever imagine that growing food would lead to me learning about personal growth and development? Well, it did, and I want to bring you along for this beautiful ride. Thank you so much for joining me. Hello, Grow Nation. I hope this finds you well. I don't want to say that you're going to be out in the garden this weekend because it is a balmy 42 degrees where I am here in Connecticut, and we're no doubt very close to our first frost. Speaking of first frost, check your growing guides regarding whatever you have in the ground or in containers currently because everything can't take a frost. However, your collard greens and your kale and your spinach are all good in a frost. In fact, collard greens are more tender and they're sweeter after the frost has hit them. I remember growing up, for my grandmother to cook a collard green that had not been in the frost was verboten. It just did not happen. So I hope that helps. But I'm not here to talk about gardening today because you all know that I've kind of put everything outside to rest for the season. I want to talk about vision, more specifically about dreaming. I can't speak for you, but I want to just give examples from my own life. And I found myself taking a pause after 6-7 months of us being out in the yard growing. And I wanted to get an assessment of what is next. Like, how do we grow this vision? How do we add on to it? And I realized that sometimes we get so caught up in doing, or sometimes I get so caught up in doing, I don't take the time to dream. And what does taking the time to dream even look like? I was listening to a book the other day called Crazy Faith by Pastor Michael Todd, and he put a challenge out there of sorts to just take a moment, close your eyes, think about what would be like a perfect scenario. I'm paraphrasing this. Think about like your favorite place. You're sipping a virgin drink on the beach, blah, blah, blah. And it took a moment for me to really do that. And that was troublesome to me. I don't know why it's easier to dream when we're younger. When I was young, I knew that I wanted to own a network, a TV network like Bob Johnson owned BET. I knew that I wanted to be a journalist. I wanted to be like Khadijah on Living Single, writing for a hip hop magazine. I just knew these things. But the older I got, the more life began to wear on me or going through the motions. And it was less likely that I would put on those rose-colored lenses. Now, I always operated with hope. I always operated with faith. I always had that about me. But my ability to dream, especially the other day listening to this exercise, I was like, that's a problem. Then one of my favorite scriptures is Hebrews 11:6. And you know I have a lot of favorite scriptures. But without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. It's impossible to please our God without having faith. So yeah, we need to have this ability to dream and see beyond where we are, because if we don't, what is the vehicle that he's going to use to show us what he wants us to do next? If we don't stay limber, if we don't stay flexible and pliable in that area, how will he use us to get his will done? How will he use us to make the next step for the kingdom? It's so important that we sometimes take the moment to pause, assess, re-examine, see what he's saying, lean into what he's doing, lean into his presence, to be still and to just say, God, what is next? What do you want me to do next? Which way do you want me to go? Are you in this? Are you in the midst of this? Lord, help me to dream again. Maybe that's the simple prayer. And finally, we're to be like children. That's the key. I think when we grow up, we just feel like we can't do those things as a child anymore. That's one thing the Bible talks about, that we are to come to him as children. He's our Father. He wants to do amazing things through us and for us. And so, but we must come to him as children. We don't have all the answers, and just allow him to pour into us, allow him to give us a vision or give us the dream. Like, we're just instruments, and we're just coming to our beautiful Father, our wonderful Father, our capable Father, who is anything but a deadbeat. And we're coming to him like, God, show me, because I don't know. That's it, guys. I wanted to talk to you. I wanted to say, stay dreaming. Stay dreaming. Stay in a posture of God being able to drop whatever he needs to, whether it's into a vision or impression, whether you hear from him, whether you allow someone to bring a word to you that's confirming, and that is just encouraging, and just allowing God to speak in a myriad of ways. I want you to stay open, to stay dreaming, because how are we going to advance the kingdom forward if we don't dream, if we don't allow God to use that part of us? So until next time, guys, I want you to be intentional about those areas in your life where you are going to make room to grow.